Right now, military AI systems are being deployed with less oversight than a consumer app on your phone. And nobody, not the Pentagon, not Congress, not even the companies building it, has actually agreed on what too dangerous even means. This week, The Verge just broke open one of the biggest questions in tech. Who gets to decide when artificial intelligence is too risky to release? Is it the company that built it, the government, some international body? Or does everyone just wing it until something catastrophic happens? Here's the shocking part. As of this week, there's no unified answer. Anthropic's safety team says their AI should never be weaponized, but the Pentagon is actively interested. The Trump administration has very different ideas about AI regulation than the previous one. And meanwhile, other countries are writing rules that don't even apply to everyone else. The stakes couldn't be higher. An AI system that coordinates military operations, manipulates financial markets, or designs biological weapons could exist before regulators even know to check for it. So today, we are breaking down the three-way battle between companies, governments, and international bodies, and what it means when nobody's really in charge. This is where things get complicated. The question of who decides if AI is dangerous didn't just appear overnight. It erupted because of specific incidents, and because the pace of AI development has completely outrun the pace of regulation. In the last 18 months, we've seen AI systems do things that should have worried people more than they did. Language models trained by companies like OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic started showing unexpected abilities, manipulating text in ways that could spread disinformation, writing code for exploits, suggesting illegal activity when prompted in the right way. Each time, the company involved said their safety team had caught it, but each time that safety team was internal, the fox guarding the henhouse. Then came the military angle. The Pentagon began openly exploring military AI systems, not theoretical ones, systems being tested for real operations. That's when Anthropic pushed back. Their safety team published position papers saying certain uses of AI, like autonomous weapons or information warfare, should be absolutely restricted, regardless of who's asking to build it. Here's where it gets interesting. Anthropic can refuse to work with the Pentagon. But can they refuse the government? Can they refuse China or Russia? And if they refuse one actor, but another company doesn't that just create a black market for unsafe AI? And that's just the beginning. Right now, there are three groups trying to control what counts as too dangerous, and they barely talk to each other. First, the companies, OpenAI, Google, Anthropic, Mistral, Meta, they all have internal safety teams deciding what their AI can do. The problem is obvious. They are judging their own product. It's like a car manufacturer asking if their own brakes are safe. Anthropic's safety team published a paper saying Claude should never help build bioweapons or coordinate attacks. But that's Anthropic's rule alone. OpenAI might differ. Startups with no safety team, they just ship whatever makes money. Second, governments. The United States, the United Kingdom, the European Union, they are all writing different AI regulations at different speeds. The EU leads with strict rules on high-risk applications. The United States moves slower, but favors Pentagon-friendly approaches. China writes rules serving national interests. But here's the thing, these regulations only apply to companies inside those borders. An AI trained in Tokyo and deployed globally doesn't care if Brussels banned it. Third, independent bodies. The International Atomic Energy Agency has real teeth for nuclear safety, but there's no international AI agency with any power. There are advisory boards, safety institutes, academic researchers, but zero enforcement mechanism. And here's what the headlines are missing. Let's make this concrete. What does too dangerous actually look like? Anthropic says Claude should never help with bioweapon design. That's not paranoia, it's a real restriction based on real capabilities. Language models can describe how to modify pathogens, engineer viruses, and synthesize dangerous compounds. A trained researcher could theoretically use Claude as a research accelerant for something catastrophic. So Anthropic built detection systems that refuse those queries. But here's the complication. What if a legitimate researcher at a major medical lab needs to study dangerous pathogens to develop defenses? They can't use Claude because the system can't distinguish between academic research and weaponization. so they are blocked from using the most powerful tool available for their legitimate work. Then, there's the Pentagon angle. The United States military wants AI for autonomous targeting systems, surveillance coordination, and tactical planning. These are powerful use cases, and they're also exactly what Anthropic says is off-limits. So the Pentagon has to build its own AI systems in-house, using less capable models, with less safety scrutiny than Anthropic provides, because Anthropic refuses to work with them. That's the core tension. If you build an AI so safe that it refuses dangerous things, you also refuse legitimate things. And if a company refuses to work with the government, does the government just go around them and build something worse? Here's the twist nobody expected. The regulation problem gets even messier when you zoom out globally. Different countries are making completely different calls on what's too dangerous. The European Union took the hardest line. Their AI Act classifies AI systems into risk tiers and requires high-risk applications, like military targeting or facial recognition, to get government approval before deployment. It's strict, expensive to comply with, and designed to apply globally. If you want to sell AI in Europe, you have to meet European standards, period. China is doing the opposite. The government is very interested in military AI and surveillance AI. The regulations focus on content moderation and state security, not on preventing dangerous capabilities. A Chinese AI system might help coordinate military operations without hesitation. The United States sits in the middle, but leaning toward the Pentagon. Regulation exists, but is lighter than the EU's approach. The current thinking is, let companies innovate, safety teams can catch most of the risk, and government oversight happens after deployment, not before. But here's the thing most people miss. These aren't just different philosophies. They are incompatible. If the EU bans military AI and the United States approves it, the United States wins the military AI race. If China embraces unrestricted AI development and Europe restricts it, China wins the general AI race. This is a prisoner's dilemma at the international scale. But here's what most coverage gets wrong. So what happens if the wrong group decides when AI is too dangerous? Scenario 1, companies rule alone, no government oversight, just Anthropic and OpenAI deciding their own standards. Upside, innovation moves fast, and companies avoid disasters for profit. Downside, safety happens behind closed doors, standards differ wildly, and one profit-focused company cutting corners could break everything. It's like letting banks regulate themselves, which actually happened badly. Scenario 2, governments take control. Rules come from Washington, Brussels, Beijing, pick your version. Upside, accountability and enforcement power. Downside, governments move slow, regulation becomes a competitive weapon, China bans American AI, and hostile regimes run military AI unconstrained, while democracies debate ethics. Also, security agencies classify safety research, keeping the public blind. Scenario 3, an authoritarian government builds advanced military AI before anyone stops them. No safety team, no hesitation. They have an AI coordinating drone swarms, predicting battles, manipulating markets. Everyone else is now playing catch-up against an opponent with a head start. The terrifying part, we're already sliding into Scenario 3. Nobody's admitted it. Because the moment an AI actually becomes dangerous, the moment someone weaponizes it, it'll be too late to debate who should have been in control. But wait, there's something nobody's even talking about. So if nobody's officially in charge, how do safety decisions actually get made? There's a shadowy process that most people have no idea about. When Anthropic develops Claude, their safety team runs hundreds of tests. They run adversarial attacks, trying to trick Claude into harmful outputs. They test bioweapon queries, illegal code, financial manipulation, disinformation techniques. Every test that Claude fails, the team tries to fix it. This happens before Claude ever ships. Then once Claude is deployed, external researchers, academics, security teams, ethicists try to break it. They publish papers highlighting gaps. Anthropic either patches or sometimes says that's acceptable risk. The public rarely hears about these decisions. Government decides next. The Pentagon has a procurement process. They ask, is this AI safe enough for military use? The answer depends on whether it came from a company like Anthropic, which says no military use, or a company that will work with them, which says yes, with controls. The European Union requires government approval upfront. The United States rubber stamps it after the fact. Finally, international bodies try to coordinate. The United Nations has AI safety working groups, but they have zero enforcement power. Their recommendations are just words, unless governments choose to adopt them. Here's the thing, all these decisions are made by people who have strong incentives to reach certain conclusions: profit, national security, academic prestige. Nobody is making a purely objective call on what too dangerous means. Now here's where the real story starts. So here's what all this means for you sitting at home right now. The outcome of the who decides battle will shape whether AI is a tool that accelerates human progress or a tool that gets weaponized before democracies can respond. It'll decide whether AI safety is a priority or a box to check. It'll determine whether your data is safe from an AI designed to manipulate you, or whether military AI systems make life or death decisions you never see. You can't solve this alone, but you can stay informed. Follow what Anthropic, OpenAI, and Google publish about their safety policies. Read regulatory news from the EU, the United Kingdom, and the United States. These frameworks are shaping global AI's future. Most importantly, demand transparency. Right now, safety decisions happen in private. Companies publish papers, but governments keep their reasoning classified. That's not okay. The truth The Verge uncovered this week is simple. Nobody's officially in charge of deciding when AI is too dangerous. And that's terrifying, because the moment an AI actually becomes dangerous, the moment someone weaponizes it, it'll be too late to debate who should have been in control. The conversation is happening now. You just need to stay in it. Follow for daily AI news. We are tracking these decisions so you don't have to.